Hey there, this is Daryl again, Jackson Fishing Team, and like I said last week, we're getting ready for tying up some flies for some shad, which will be happening in I don't know the end of December, mid January, somewhere in that time frame when the water temperatures gets up about 65, and they'll be coming in to do their egg thing, but. The fly we're going to tie today is O'Neill's Hazardous waste, and we'll take a look at it, and we'll start tying it, and then explain the materials as I go along. All right, hope you enjoy it. Well, this here's the Hazardous waste. It's a short truce style fly, colored fly with a red bead, and then a short truce tail with his lateral scale. Flash type of thing. So why don't we go ahead and we'll explain the materials as we go along and tie this fly. The hook I'm going to use is a Mustad 3366 in a size 6. And the beads I'm going to use are Spirit River hot beads in red. 4.6 millimeters or 3/16. We'll go ahead and put the bead on our hook. Place that in the vise. I'm going to use some 6/0 short truce or fluorescent green thread. And we'll take this back to where the barb used to be and then back to the front of the point. The material I'm going to use will be this lateral scale, kind of crinkly, cool. You only need like 3 strands. And I'm going to fold it in half, cut this to make 6, and then I'm going to put it under the thread and lock it in right there. And I'm going to just trim this up right above the knurl nut right here. Want to keep it, like I mentioned in the previous, about no longer than 1/2 of an inch, because shad like the short strike or short bite or whatever you want to call it. Just nipping at the tail and you'll never hook them. And then we'll build this up to get rid of that drop off right there. Alright, the next material I'm going to use, I just went to the tackle shop and I just got some 12-pound short truce or fluorescent green monofilament for the body. You could use D-rib if you want, but this worked out to be the price was right for me. So, you know, you don't have to buy all that expensive stuff. Could have probably bought a spool. I only bought 3 feet of it. And I gotta position this right. Now this is monofilament could be hard to tie with because it is slippery. Like that vinyl rib, that the thread will actually cut into that. And then we're going to go ahead and we're just going to wrap this around for our body. You might think it's pretty close to what we're tying like a crazy Charlie, but it's not quite. We got all the right materials. But we're going to tie a few of those also in this series, some crazy Charlies for shad. And with 3 feet, I probably have enough to do, I don't know, maybe 50 flies or so, I'll bet. And we'll do a few of these locking wraps just because this is pretty slippery stuff. And we'll trim off that fishing line and put that in a little bag for a few more flies later. Next I'm going to put on a collar. Going to be some Samuel's laser hair dubbing in fluorescent chartreuse or fluorescent green. We'll add a little head cement on there before we do our whip finish. And we'll give it a couple whip finishes here. Lock in our materials and call it a done fly. Snip that off. And then I just like to brush out my my dubbing a little bit. Make it look kind of buggy. I don't know if the fish like it, but I do. And there we have it. O'Neill's Hazardous Waste Kind of looks like with that red bead on there. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that quick little tie. I'm going to tie up, I don't know, 4 more patterns like this, and we'll see how they do here mid-January, maybe as late as maybe February, but I'm hoping that maybe January we'll be able to get out and try for some shad here in Charleston, South Carolina. Alright, I'm Daryl, and we'll see you on the water. Tie up a few of these.